Alright, hey y'all, it's Eddie here back again with another video. And would you like to have strong, fabulous magic legs? Legs so strong that they can make you jump high up really far, while the magic is strong enough to make your enemies stay up in the air for long periods of time? Well then, Guinevere is definitely the right character for you. Now, while I don't personally play Guinevere a lot, she does have things in her kit that I most definitely enjoy in a hero. And those two things being a shitload of crowd control and engage. But other than that, she has more strengths that I will go into. So yeah, let's talk about it. So in this episode of Mobile Legends Pros and Cons, I will be talking about Guinevere. One of Guinevere's most obvious strengths is definitely her very good teamfight ultimate. If you are able to land a knockup on, 3 to 4 enemies, then that can be a team fight winning ultimate right there. Like with just one ultimate, she can stun enemies for up to 2 seconds, and if you're able to stun the whole team, that gives your team a lot of time to, dish out damage, and in a team fight, 2 seconds can be the difference between life or death. Like Guinevere's ultimate is definitely one of the things that you look out for when you play as her, since it can be very dangerous in not only team fights but also 1v1s, since you can't do anything for the next 2 seconds. Now, while using her ultimate, Guinevere cannot move, but luckily she is immune to crowd control effects. And once you're able to cancel the ultimate, or once the ultimate finishes, the enemy will still be knocked up for a split second, which will give you enough time to use her first skill and her passive dunk, I guess if you want to call it that. With these two attacks, she can easily finish off a low health opponent who maybe didn't get killed with her ultimate. Now, unfortunately, even though her ultimate is a very powerful teamfight skill, what you need in order to set up for it is a knockup, which comes from her dash skill. Now, this skill has a lot of mobility, but unfortunately, it is very easy to either cancel or even avoid, since you can see where she's gonna land, or you can even cancel it with a simple crowd control effect like Ruby Spin or Eudora Stun. So unfortunately, even though she, like I said before, does have massive teamfight potential, it only takes like one little stun for her combo to be completely ruined, and for her to have to wait for the next couple seconds before she can even, set up again. Now, one way you as a player can combat this is by either obviously setting up in a bush, or maybe doing it while the team doesn't have any stuns, so definitely keep an eye out for those. Or, since there's a lot of chaos that happens during a team fight, you can maybe sneak your way around the enemy and set up a good ultimate that way. So, while it is easy for enemies to avoid her knocking them up, there are ways that you can maybe increase the likelihood of you being able to knock them up with your dash skill and get a massive W with a big ass ultimate. While she isn't commonly used in the highest of ranks, those being Mythic and Mythical Glory, that does not mean that she's a bad hero. So, as I previously mentioned, she does have great teamfight potential if played correctly, but she also has a very solid laning phase. Like her first skill allows her to poke enemies, her dash skill allows her to stun enemies and damage them for a little bit, and get out when she needs to get out. Like Guinevere has a lot of things in her kit that, makes her maybe not one of the strongest fighters in the game, but if played correctly, she can definitely compete with those powerhouses. Now, not only is she, good in team fights, but since her passive is basically an enhanced basic attack, that also means that she can push lanes and push towers fairly quickly, which is also a very good thing to have in a hero. Now, if you remember, I said that she has some strong magic legs at the beginning of the video, and that's definitely obvious when you look at her second skill, or her dash skill. So even though it is 2 skills in one, basically one skill that she uses to dash and then another that she uses to escape with, which is fairly good, and it has a lot of uses as well. You know, her second phase can allow her to dodge uh, skill skill attacks from enemies, and the first one can be used to engage or to escape, or just overall, like, this skill is definitely a pro in my opinion because it takes her very far. My girl has hops, like, no doubt. Like, just look at how far she can jump. And, with it, she can also chase fairly easily. Just overall, I think it's a very good thing that Guinevere has this much mobility in a single skill. When you look at the very best fighters in the game, those being Alice, Paquito, Yuzong, and so on, one thing that all those heroes have in common is that they have a lot of sustain and a lot of defenses, just things that will keep them alive. Now, for Guinevere, while you can build magic lifesteal, and that magic lifesteal does pair good with her ultimate, she herself cannot really take a lot of hits during a team fight, which is a really big. It's very unfortunate in my opinion, since Guinevere, in my opinion, Guinevere's kit is a lot similar to what you might see in tank builds, which is what I'm used to. For me personally, right? I'm used to playing somebody who can take a hit while they're starting a team fight. But with Guinevere, you actually have to be careful about not only, avoiding something that can maybe cancel your knockup, but doing it but jumping during a time where you won't instantly be one shot, even if you might not hit all of the enemies with your ultimate. Now, fortunately, to make up for this, she does do a lot of damage with her full skill combo. But if you look at the top heroes, the top fighters in this current meta, one of the main things that sticks out is the fact that they have a lot of sustain or a lot of survivability, and Guinevere just lacks that. She lacks that overall defense. She needs to have items that can heal her during a team fight, or maybe she needs to buy an item like immortality in order to be able to last in a team fight for long periods of time. But what do you think? Do you think that I said anything wrong? If so, definitely correct me and leave a suggestion for what hero I should do next. Other than that, I guess thanks for watching up to this point. Definitely like and subscribe if you haven't yet. Anything like that does help a small channel like this one. And other than that, I mean, yeah, just thanks for sticking around. That's pretty much it. See ya.
Searching all along, facing twilight.